friends, and thank you for joining us for another edition of the Welsh Mission News. This week we're going to have our treasurer, Earl Ram Haramsingh, talk about the current lockdown and how that is impacting the church, both at the local and the national level. We apologize for the quality of the video, as at times the image is not as sharp. A big thank you to Joel Stevenson, who has edited and sent in a collection of clips that he has recorded over the month of April. We are delighted to see our young people put their talent at good use. And we encourage you to send in your pictures and your videos of some of the activities that you are doing in the lockdown. In today's episode, we also have Hezron, our health ministry sponsor, who will conclude his presentation on creation health. So we would like to extend to him our gratitude and our thanks for sharing these wonderful health tips. If you'd like to continue to watch Hezron talk about health, please refer to the Health and News series on the Welsh Mission YouTube channel. We hope that you will be able to benefit from those, and the title is Health in News. However, just before we start the interview with Earl, I would like to express my thanks to all those of you who have taken part in our online fellowship day, and for your comments and words of encouragement. I hope you can see that this is a ministry in its own right, and many will be blessed by the materials we upload. Since Sabbath, we have doubled the amount of subscriptions on our YouTube page, and nearly 1,000 people have watched the service. Please continue to pray for this ministry and the ministerial team in the Welsh Mission as we endeavor to serve God. Until next time, stay safe and God bless. Today we have Earl Ram Haramsingh, who is the treasurer for both the British Union Conference and the Free Missions, which obviously includes the Welsh Mission as well. Earl, as we are going through this very serious pandemic or self-isolation period here in the British Isles, how is the Welsh Mission affected by the current financial circumstances in which we're finding ourselves during this lockdown?
First of all, let me start by saying, Mr. President, for the last 28 years of working for the church, I used to work in the chartered accountancy professions in public practice, but for the last 28 years, I've been personally envisioned by the resilience and the faithfulness of our members. It's been a truly awesome experience as I've gone through these last 28 years working for the church, both for the Welsh Mission, BUC, and previously the South England Conference. During this pandemic period, our church buildings have been instructed to close to safeguard you, our members.
Yes. But
not our church services, which has become virtual or online churches. Despite this, our tithe income for the month of March has fallen by about 55% to about £16,000 for the month of March. However, in addition to this, each month the BUC continues to support us here in the Welsh Mission with a further £12,500. To offset this fall in income, the Welsh Mission trustees, executive committee, have sought to restrict our expenditure to just those important and essential expenditure, such as our ministers' salaries. For those of you who are aware of the term furlough, I can confirm that at this moment in time here in the Welsh Mission, none of our ministers have been furloughed. They're all fully servicing the needs, although virtually in many cases, the needs of the members, and supporting community and evangelism projects across the Welsh Mission territory. Secondly, as well as minister salaries, evangelism, where it can still be safely achieved. And thirdly, to support local community projects, helping especially the vulnerable in the communities and the societies around where we live and where we worship here in the Welsh Mission.
Thank you, Earl. I really appreciate that answer. As we move forward into the unknown, because reality is no one really knows. We have the government trying to get people back to work or children back in school. What do you think are some practical ways in which we personally can do or help in order to see the church moving forward through this crisis situation?
You're right in saying that it doesn't seem that anybody, even the President of the United States of America, the Chinese leaders, the Russian leaders, no one seemed to know what the correct answer only God knows the correct answer. Only God knows where things will pan out, where things will lead to. But I would suggest to you, dear friends, as you continue with your daily devotions with God, as each and every one of us, each and every one of you continue on your spiritual journeys, I would appeal to each and every one of you, including myself, to embrace our covenants with God by returning your tithe. And if I could also emphasize also your local churches in your budget offerings, your love offerings at this time as well. Even though our churches are closed, our local churches still have what we call fixed costs of being in existence from week to week, month to month, year to year. So those, so your local church budget offerings are still vitally important. How can we achieve this? If I can say personally myself, my tithe is paid directly, electronically each month, and even my budget offerings are sent deducted from my bank account each month and sent directly to my local church. So my local church even benefits on a regular monthly basis by my regular support, even though I'm not there from week to week or month to month in many cases, because I travel around the British Union Conference territory quite extensively. Nonetheless, the church is able to benefit from my regular tithe and local budget offerings. But one of the ways that you can utilise to help pay, as well as what I've just said, you can return your tithe and offerings electronically using the bank details that can be found both on the Welsh Mission and the BUC websites. You can use, secondly, you can use the PayPal option. Some of you may want to consider setting up a standing order. Again, the bank details are there on the website, so you can set up a monthly, regular standing order, especially for those of us who receive regular, static, the same salaries each month. You may want to consider setting up a standing order. At my office here, I have a colleague called Atab. His mobile phone number is on the BUC website. You can also call the BUC number, and we will be able to receive it so that receive your call so that we can receive or take payment. You can return your tithe and offerings by using your credit card or your debit card, and after my colleague here in Treasury Department will be able to process your tithe accordingly. And finally, in this day and age, many of you may not be familiar with checks, but we still have, we will still receive, can still receive checks and make payments through that means accordingly here at the BUC, and we bank every week here. You may be furloughed or not working. What other areas that you can help on a practical basis? You may be furloughed or maybe not working at this time. If safe to do, and I stress if it is safe to do, maybe consider helping your local church outreach ministries as they support, especially at this time, community projects in your local communities around your church.
Oh, thank you. Earl, I don't want to keep you any longer because I know you are very busy, but one last question from me. You are somebody who is very well accustomed to the church. You grew up in the church, and you also served the church as an administrator for many years. So my last question would be, what sort of advice, or how do you see the church being able to pull through this? Do you think that the church will change through COVID-19?
It's a tough question, and I mean, if I can just say, I was born in the church here in London, right here, down the road in London. I was born into an Adventist family. I've seen the church change in many different ways over the last 5, nearly 6 decades of my life. Almost giving my age away there. But as I said, I was born into an Adventist family. For the last nearly 18 years, I've been a church officer. I've been a treasurer, both here at the BUC and previously in the South England Conference. During that period, I've seen the turmoils of Black Monday, 19th of October, 1987. Some of you may remember that. I've seen the financial turbulences of autumn 2008, more recently. Dear friends, at this moment in time, we are in uncharted waters. But through it all, if I can stress and emphasize, God has a plan. God is in control. I firmly believe that our finances here in the Welsh Mission will recover. During this period, I've already seen how we've been able to develop new online ministries. I've seen how we've made new contacts through the virtual ministries that many of our churches, the length and breadth of the British Isles, are conducted at the moment. Some congregations are attracting viewers from as far afield as North America, Africa, the Middle East, as well as the Near East. It is providing a tremendous form of ministries, contacts and forms of outreach that we have never seriously looked into previously. We've forged new community links as we've engaged in, especially at this time, community ministries to serve the vulnerable in our societies. Only just over a week ago, we set up a new community outreach project here in Watford called One Vision. They're in attendance at the beginning, at the start of to open the project, was the MP for Watford. We had the Mayor for Watford. We had the lead of the Sikh community. We had the lead of the Muslim community. And even though it was Ramadan going on, the lead of the Muslim community was there. We had the lead of the Rotary Club of Watford here. And there were many volunteers there working on this project, not from the Adventist Church, and we have one of our largest churches here, right here in Stanbrook Park, but we had many furloughed workers from society here, teachers, office workers, etc., who were there working with us, with our Adventist friends and contacts here right in this project. So we're forging new links with far and wide in our communities. If I can also stress that, say that I would suggest that we are also forging deeper relationships through our virtual ministries, far more so than just on a week-to-week, face-to-face, coming in and out of church. We're forming deeper prayer life connections with God. You know, I was recently in a prayer meeting on a Wednesday night, and whereas before, I think many of us would say that prayer meeting isn't one of the most popular meetings in our weekly calendar. But I can honestly say that the numbers have multiplied tremendously, and I think as a result of that, of prayer meeting attendance, our prayer life, and as a result, our connection with God has become more and more deeper as a result. At this time, I would like to say that I do recognise that many of you, our members, have been furloughed, and through that process, are experiencing some forms of isolation, experiencing depression. Some of you, I do recognise, have lost your jobs, and most importantly of all, I do recognise that many of you have lost loved ones to the coronavirus. God is with us, dear friends. He's with us in our prayers. He's with us in our sufferings. He cares. He's there for each and every one of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Earl. We really appreciate spending a few minutes with us and your words of encouragement. And thank you for having this wonderful vision for the church. And I think we all believe the same, that the church somehow will come out of this even more strengthened and focused towards the mission that God has entrusted to us. Please give our regards to your team in the Treasury Department, and also to your family. Stay safe. And thank you again for all that you continue to do for us. God bless you.
So make sure so it's too windy out there. So just so you know, links are in.
Hi, my name is Hezron. Welcome once again to this, our final step and focus on the creation health discovery principles. Today we're on the letter N, and that is for nutrition. Okay, so God designed us to have peak performance from the best foods. Okay, that's why he planted the Garden of Eden and said to Adam, simply enjoy, my brother. Now, God is very much interested in what we take inside of our bodies. Why? Because it's part of his great plan for us to live healthy, productive lives, as he really seeks to want to make us whole. Now, it is once said that to eat is a necessity, but to eat intelligently is an art. Now, we have to really think carefully about what we put in our bodies. And I've got 3 practical steps for you as we finish the series. 3 practical steps for you en route to your nutrition success. Number 1, in fact, I call them the 3 M's: maximizing, moderating, and minimizing. Okay, maximizing, moderating, and minimizing. Number 1, maximizing. Maximize the plant foods, okay? The whole grains, nuts, vegetables, fruits, legumes, all those plant-based food that are wholesome for us. Maximize also the variety that you choose to take in, okay? God's made so many options for us. Number 2, moderation. Now, moderate your intake, okay? Don't eat until you're bursting at the rim. Moderate your portion size, all right? Number 3, minimize. This is also key. Minimize your intake of animal proteins, okay? Minimize the saturated fats, okay? Even some sugar substitutes. Minimize your sugar intake, okay? Also salt, okay? Taste your food before you shake the salt on it, all right? Now, those are 3 practical steps en route to your nutrition success. There's a whole lot more research, a whole lot more information available to you, whether it's on the website pages with nutrition, or in books that you can buy or actually download online. Now, as this is our final stage or topic in the Creation Health Discovery, I hope you enjoyed these mini nugget series that really will get you thinking about your health. Finally, I wish above all things that thou mayst prosper and be in good health,